following their immigration court hearings. This is happening in multiple cities across the country. Take a look. This was in Phoenix, and you can hear the protesters chanting and confronting ICE agents. They're screaming at them and trying to block their path as the agents took people into custody on Friday, leading them into an unmarked white van. Similar arrests have been taking place outside of courthouses in New York City and Los Angeles and Seattle. ICE also announcing this week a historic takedown of major drug networks. Several law enforcement organizations, including ICE and Europol, teaming up for a global dark web crackdown that led to 200.
It's so many pills in this barrel.
ICE and Europol.
I want you to see this. It's so many pills in this barrel. It looked like coffee in there. That's crazy. So it's so many pills in that barrel that it looked like straight up coffee. Those are pills. That's a whole bag of pills, and it looked like coffee. Now I wonder how much money that is in there.
Teaming up for a global dark web crackdown that led to 270 people being arrested and the confiscation of more than 2 metric tons of drugs, including more than 300 pounds of fentanyl or fentanyl-laced narcotics.
Look at this barrel of pills or whatever this is. Yo, how much money is that? Cuz how much money is in that barrel of pills? That's what I want to know. Like one barrel of these pills is how much money? They're not saying that. It got to be a lot.
And meanwhile, the DEA saying Chinese and Mexican criminal groups are taking advantage of U.S. states where cannabis is legal. Laws are loose there, and then they're bootstrapping their own illegal marijuana operations. News Nation correspondent Jorge Ventura has been following this story for years. He's joining us live from San Antonio. Jorge, what are you tracking on this?
Natasha, we are learning that Chinese and Mexican transnational criminal organizations are trafficking marijuana to states where recreational use is still illegal. And by doing this is keeping the black market alive and booming. And now these are not just small grow operations anymore. According to the DEA's new 2025 National Drug Threat Assessment Report, over the last decade, Chinese and Mexican transnational criminal organizations have turned the legalization movement of marijuana into a multi-billion-dollar black market business. While exploiting state laws to traffic high-potency marijuana, they're also crushing the legal marijuana industry at the same time. We've seen the rise of illegal grow sites.
They've been doing that the whole time, dummy. Yo, they've been doing that the whole time. You know what I mean? Now, let's break this down. Let's break this down a little bit. Let's break some of this drug shit down. So, all right, let's break this down. You got states that marijuana are not legal, and then you got states that are legal, right? It's different variables. The states that are legal, remember, you can't have a gun, you can't get a gun license and buy marijuana, right? So you got people that just want to go to their weed man, right? In every state, even though it's legal, right? Because in Philly, you can go to the dispensary, but a lot of dudes just want to go to their weed man, right? If you got a license to carry, a lot of people that got a license to carry, 10 times out of 10, you still gonna buy it illegally because you can't have both. You can't have the license to carry and buy weed. So that market is going to be open, right? Then you got people that just they want it to still be taboo. They want to pretend like it's not legal and then just buy it off the streets. So of course there's going to be a market for it, but they're making it seem, this news report is making it seem like when these are the same people. This is what I'm trying to say. These are the same people when it wasn't legal. These are the same people that were bringing it in when it wasn't legal. They're trying to spin this to make it seem like they're competing with the legal market. That, to me, that sounds like a false narrative. These are just the people that they already had it, and now if y'all can't get it in your state, then I'm a pump it in your state. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's kind of what they kind of said that halfway, but you got to break it down. Like, if you can't get a gun, you got to, like, if you got a legal gun license and you want to smoke weed, you got to still buy it illegally, which that's stupid because you can have a gun and then go get drunk all you want to. So that's just, whoever makes these laws is just stupid.
In states like California and Oklahoma, criminal groups are buying up land, indoor and outdoor, to cultivate marijuana far beyond legal limits. And according to a former California Wildlife Department lieutenant, many of these operations rely on traffic undocumented immigrants to work the grows, often under threat.
Bringing in Mexican nationals, bringing in Chinese immigrants as well, and basically bringing them in as the labor force within these grow sites, promising them payment, not paying these guys, kind of extorting and keeping them around, really against their will.
In 2023, News Nation embedded with Riverside County Sheriff's marijuana eradication teams targeting Chinese.
Yo, that sounds like another narrative. Yo, they always use little things to push their narrative, yo. Like they always use like little micro look at the two things that cop was trying to push in the narrative. They're coming, they're getting trafficked against their will. They're trying to push these side narratives. It don't matter if they're here illegal or not. You think they're gonna do that? They're not getting paid. They don't even sound right, man.
Illegal grow sites in the deserts where neighbors were too frightened to leave their property and deputies were outnumbered by organized criminals. Sheriff Bianco's team launched raids on these no-go zones, aiming to dismantle the lucrative black market operations.
Let me switch my camera view real quick. Yeah, that don't sound 100% right.
Spreading across Southern California. The DEA says illegal growers often operate in states where marijuana is legal, but often skip licensing or use falsified documents. And if caught, face little to no prison time. They just pack up and move. And the scale is massive. In 2024, Oklahoma alone accounted for 2/3 of the DEA's total marijuana seizures. But that doesn't mean all drugs originated there. Many were caught in transit, being moved from grow states to black market destinations. Facilitators working for Chinese and Mexican transnational criminal organizations traffic this marijuana to states where recreational use is still illegal, keeping the black market alive and booming. And it doesn't stop there. The DEA says demand for this high potency marijuana has now gone global, with shipments now reaching Great Britain, France, and Spain. And the money is laundered through a vast network known as the Chinese underground banking system, with a hub in New York City, funneling profits back to mainland China.
We've started to see this collusion between the Mexican cartels, still involved very much in illegal cannabis, but start to let some of that go so the Chinese groups can come in and benefit from the mass profits of that criminal enterprise in exchange for money laundering.
And when our News Nation team went embedded with Riverside County sheriffs in the desert, they raided those illegal Chinese grows. Another issue that law enforcement is running into is that the chemicals and pesticides sprayed on those marijuana plants are actually destroying the environment. Natasha, Riverside County sheriffs tell me that many of these chemicals are actually banned.
We talking about trapping, the topic is trapping. They always push these, like liberal narratives into everything. Now, I'm not gonna say that destroying the environment is a liberal narrative. It might be because they push it the most, but we're talking about trapping, drugs, trapping to two criminal organizations, Mexican, Chinese, in the United States. Why are you talking about the pesticides? That was the last thing I was thinking about, bro. What are you talking about?
Substances here in the United States and are actually being smuggled all the way through China and are actually smuggled through the southern border. So another issue for the law enforcement and also for communities living by these illegal grow operations.
Yeah, that is so concerning. All right, Jorge Ventura with that live report in San Antonio. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
Yeah, I know they catching licks. So you basically what you telling me is California, Oklahoma. Let me see something. Let me find them states. See if it pop up on the screen. Basically, you telling me these are states that people gonna be catching a lick in. That's what you telling me. Chinese, Mexican organizations control the trade. You think that's new? That ain't nothing new. Now, I never knew they working together. Now, that's crazy. Now, that's crazy. So the Chinese and Mexican criminal organizations are working together, trapping in the neighborhood near you. That's a lot of weed. I don't even smoke weed. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of weed. Now, what happened down here? Let's see what happened. Let's see what actually happened in South Carolina.